Yeah, as Alan said, Brendan O'Riordan, I'm from Dalux. I'm the country manager. We opened up the office here in February last year, and we're a relatively small team, but things are going well here. So I'll give you an input about digital tools, creating efficiency and project management. I'm going to get there in a slightly roundabout way. So a bit about Dalux. It's a Danish company, about 450 people in it. 50% of them are software developers, all based in Copenhagen, all full-time. It's a very serious operation about its development. There are 2 shares in Dalux owned by 2 brothers, no investors, no loans, so they're able to do what they want. They're able to build the products they want. No one is looking to sell the company. No one's looking for dividends. No one's looking for returns. So no investment means they have the autonomy to build the products they want. We're in 23 countries with 32 offices. We have over 1 million users, over 200,000 BIM projects. So that's people using a viewer or more. We do a box is a CDE, which is 19650, tender for managing tenders, field for managing your quality and testing and efficiency on site, which is what I'm going to look at. We do a handover module, and we do a full FM module. So a lot of the pharma stuff out of Denmark would use us for FM and things like that. The growth of the company is pretty staggering. In 2015, they did turnover of about 1.5 million, and this year they'll do about 65 million. So that's profitable every year, no loans, no overdrafts, no investors. So bootstrapped, it's pretty impressive stuff. Now, before I start the next slides and stuff, if this was my Twitter bio, it would say opinions are my own. So just to be clear on that. This graphic, come on lads, like why are we so slow at getting digital? Jacobs, look at you, there's nothing digital. It's the most disingenuous graphic we've seen. I hate it. I'm sick of seeing it. Yeah. It's a lie. It's used, and I've done this, by people to sell to investors to get to invest in construction technology companies. It's not real. Construction is down there, but the reality of construction is, where does it start? It starts in a bank, which is up at finance and insurance. Then it goes professional services. It's up there. Then it might get to site. And so you have transportation, warehousing, a bit of construction. It goes back up to basic good manufacturing as your steel and stuff comes on site. It goes back to putting one stuff on top of the other in construction. It's not a real picture. I'm absolutely sick of seeing it. I know I have it up here, but just to make a point, we are digital. It's just, and I think it's about 9 years old at this stage anyway. Exactly. And the other one, come on. You know, why can't we build this hotel in a factory and deliver it here on a road that was also built in a factory? It's not real. We can't. We could do certain stuff. We could do modular. We could do some stuff like that. But we cannot expect the construction industry to follow the manufacturing industry. It's just not the same. Things are heavy. Things need people. Things need to get to site. One heavy thing needs to be put on top of another heavy thing. You can't really automate it. You can't really digitize it. So the reality, and I'm going to bring it back to cars for a minute. You know, what is the expectation? That we standardize everything? This is the interior of a Audi A3 or something like that. As Henry Ford said, you know, you have any color you want as long as it's black. You can get different color seats on a dash, but you can't get one seat. You can get your manual or your automatic, but it has to be in the middle. You don't really get much choice in your car. And that's not what construction's about. I know in pharma and things like that, it's different. Therefore, an output rather than a use by people and stuff like that. But the one thing you can change, you know, if I wanted a sunroof, it would go on the top. And one of those buttons, the blank buttons, would have a sunroof button. That's what you're up against. So you've got blank stuff. This is the standardization isn't going to last. It's not possible to do in construction to standardize everything, because you don't want blank spots where there could be a door or a window or a light switch. You want something built the way you want it. We've got to modular build, and this is great. These things have one thing I meant to say about the car, an average car has a life cycle of 12 years worldwide. We're probably better here, but 12 years, that's it. It's a lot of effort for a 12-year asset. Modular, they're 35 to 100 years. These are good, they're great for schools, for when we need something quick, it's really good. But the reality is, in 35 years, it's unlikely that will be there. And also, you've got to build the road, you've got to build a footpath, you've got to put the sewers in, you've got to get the stuff there, you've got to lift one bit on top of the other. So it's not We can't modularize everything. You know, it works. It may be modular, but it's not built off site. It's built on site. It's put together. That's a kind of a bad example. This is a much better example. It's very nice. It's designed well, but it still has limits. So that might last a bit longer, a bit easier in the eye, a bit of a better asset. Back to cars. That's a Morgan. I do, yeah. That's a Morgan. Someone's going to own that for 50, 60, 70 years. It's a Bugatti. That was the fastest car in the world when it was released, 1,000 horsepower. I said a car generally lasts 12 years. A Porsche will be 18 years. A Rolls Royce will be 70 years. These things will last, I don't know, as long as someone wants to keep them. But the big difference with those is they're handmade. The idea is they're handmade, they're not automated, and they're the top of the top. So that's what the quality comes in. Trying to do everything the same every time reduces the quality, reduces what people want. Now, there is a cost issue, of course. To buildings, Pompidou Centre, that's 47 years old now. It still looks modern. That could be quite modular. That's something you could build modular. It's, you know, there's a place not. It's repeatable. It's the same. It's a beautiful building. That is Reginald's Tower in Waterford. It's 800 years old and it's still in use. That's pretty efficient, right? 800 years, still in use. Not bad. The Guggenheim, 87 years old. And it's still, if that was built today, it would be called modern. That's the difference of, you know, bringing it back to proper design, quality, and that's where, you know, that's where we really want to get to. 87 years old. Wow. Would any of those projects be better if they were more digital? No. Maybe at the time, but not now. So the lasting effect of those buildings is their design and their quality. So let's be just realistic about what we do want to get out of construction. Let's not just say, oh, we're not digital, we want to automate everything. We don't want everything to be the same. We want design, we want assets that last. So the question is, does digital equal efficient? That kind of depends on your definition of efficient. If it's the speed of build, absolutely, it helps. But if it's the usefulness of the asset over time, it's one part of it. So if you're building fabs or we're in a housing crisis, want things built quick, absolutely. But is it going to make a difference in 200 years' time that a building was built using the latest digital tools? I don't know. And I realize I'm here selling digital tools, by the way, I'm not. So what can we do? And I'm going to, you know, we can use the right materials. That's one thing. They should be local. They should be reusable. They should be natural. They should be, you know, replaceable. That's positive. That's all positive stuff. We can be quality focused. Quality, quality, quality. Build it well, it'll last. Design it well, it will last. Look after it well, it will last. And we can make the individual as efficient as possible. So we want everyone on the site to be efficient. We want everyone designing it. We want everyone using it to be efficient. These are the bits we can help with. So we can help with quality. We can help with making people efficient. I realize I took a very long road to get there. So thanks for putting up with me. One thing I always say about presentations, and I've done quite a few, is never, ever, ever use videos. So coming up is 3 videos. This is just a kind of an overview of what we can do on site. So we can take, you know, quality, quick checklists for health and safety. We can access models, solid with walls as well, access all your drawings, all hyperlink together, daily log, who's in site, what they're doing. We do activities, which is program stuff, access all your documents, everything accessed through one app on your phone. That's the idea. It's easy to access everything. Getting that information quickly is the key to that. To be a bit more specific, I'm going to get into BIM models, how to create inspection plans. To me, inspection plans are incredibly important. We need to make sure that the work that is done is checked well, but we don't want to create a big plan, the Excel that can be misinterpreted and stuff. There is data available in the model which will simplify this. And what I'm going to do, this is a very short video, and it takes from nothing, no inspection plan exists, to an inspection plan for fire doors in about a minute. A full inspection plan for an entire building. So I go to my locations, my 3D object groups. I'm going to add one, search for fire doors, the property. It's going to be doors, the fire rating, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 120 minutes. Create an object group. And that's done. Now, go in an inspection plan, create a new one, call it fire doors, inspection plan, give it, what work package is it in, the workflow. An inspection point, simply type in fire doors, fill in a bit of detail about your inspection plan, add a checklist, they were pre-built, the fire door inspection, attach it, go to my extent. Okay, so level 0, I want it from a 3D object group. Fire doors, there's 15, drag it through the other levels. I've got 14 level 1, 6 in the basement. And that's it. An inspection plan is created. I'll go back in and show you now. So out of settings, into locations, go into a drawing, look at my inspection plans, and there is each fire door with an inspection plan attached. Open it up, and there's my checklist. So I very quickly created an inspection plan for every fire door in the building with an attached checklist, and then you can report on that very easily. That could be on grills, it could be on at any endpoint, any object group that you have. It could be floors, you could do it. One thing I was about to say, but I'll go to the next one before I do. And there we go. From a drawing, I want to do, I'm pouring a concrete floor. No information in the BIM model about it. Again, back into locations, zones. I'm going to create an in situ concrete floor. Flooring, add that in situ, what building it is on, what level. Very simply, just zone it out. I'm just using the grid lines here because it's easy. So create 7 different zones. And again, I'm going from nothing to having you'll see in a moment, a pre-pour and a post-pour inspection plan for a floor. My inspection plans view. In situ concrete inspections, the prefix, the work package you'd set up. Inspection points, first one, flooring, level B1, pre-pour, add another one for post-pour, checklist, it's a pre-pour inspection attached, post-pour inspection attached. To the extent, each zone on the left there, I'm going to do the count, there's 1 required for each, just drag and drop. I've now created 2 inspection points for each zone on the pour for the floor. Back into this, go to my inspection plans, there the in situ concrete, and I can see I've got 0%. I go in, these are planned, and once they're completed, I don't have much information on this, they will change and I can see percentage and start to report on it. So taking that information, even with no BIM model, I very quickly created a number of inspection plans that you do on your phone. You go to site, they're pushed to you. I arrive at site, these are the ones I have to do. This is where they are in the drawing, fill the checklist out, it's done. Now, I just picked one very small part of what we do to give an example of taking data and using it very quickly in inspections, because that stuff can really take time to build up and you have human error as well. I'm nearly finished. We also do things like someone mentioned open space. We do the site walk, all the inspections, all the drawings, the CDs. We are very much covering all of that. Anyone who mentioned any look, ACC or Revista stuff, we fit into that framework. But what we really like to do is make complicated things simple. So we don't do everything, but the stuff we do, we try and keep simple. A very Scandinavian design aspect to it. So to sum up, we are digital. We keep being told we're not. Like, look at Jonathan's thing in Jacobs. It's unbelievable. We keep being told we're not digital. Like, where we're not, maybe we shouldn't be. Maybe we shouldn't digitize everything. We do need quality. We need people. We need people to see this stuff. We need design. You know, do we really want to AI design? Do we want to AI we need guys on site to say, this is right, this is wrong. This might look better. This might work better. You know, we can't be overly prescriptive. So there's some things, and you know, how do we digitize block lay and things like that? We can automate it, but can we digitize it? Is it the right thing to do? We should use digital tools to improve us, improve our processes, not replace the processes. I really think it's important. People use buildings. We need people to build them. We need people to sit in a room and go, well, it's not quite right. That's not going to work. If I walk, I'm going to trip over that. Whatever it is, that intent is huge. Don't reinvent the wheel. Use the data available. The BIM models are absolutely chock full of data. Use it. Why recreate everything? I see it all the time. It's ridiculous. That's pretty much me. What I'm going to do is go to my last slide, and I'm going to promote something. We have a user day, which you're all welcome to. It's here in the Dalux, downstairs next Thursday. We'll have CISC speaking at it, who are rolling out a full implementation of our CD and our field tool across all their projects. We'll have Walls speaking at it, who uses, as you know, for the viewer and some of the field tools. The CitA, who are building the Belfast Transport Hub, they'll be speaking at it as well. So there'll be some really good speakers, some good networking, and possibly some free beers. So that's here next Thursday, 2 to 7, including the beers. So we'd really like to see you there. And that's me. Thank you.